In today's weather update video, we're going to be talking about the severe weather threat happening across the southeast today, and we're going to be talking about the winter storms that are happening across the northern United States, and we're going to be talking about both of those as a threat for today, November 25th, 2025. So today, November 25th, 2025, we have a severe weather threat across the southeast today, mainly for areas in central Alabama as well as east central Mississippi are going to be under this slight risk. So areas between Birmingham and Montgomery, as well as Tuscaloosa, Alabama, are going to be in this threat. For today, we do our biggest risk is going to be the tornado chance, in which we have a 5% again in central Alabama and east central Mississippi, where again areas like Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and Montgomery are going to be in that risk as well, which will impact right around 1 to 2 million people. Wind risk we do have a 5% chance of, mostly in Alabama, eastern Mississippi, a little bit of the Panhandle, Florida, and as well as western Georgia. And then the hail risk just only includes Alabama and eastern Mississippi. Day 2 severe weather, we don't even have a marginal risk at all, and in fact, they haven't even updated this in like a day or two. So, if there were, they may add a marginal risk somewhere along the East Coast here, but I highly doubt they are gonna add one. And even if they do, hazardous weather, like severe weather, are gonna be very low for the most part. And then for day 3, we don't, the only risk that's down here is in Florida, which is just going to be a bunch of tropical rainstorms that are going to be over here in southern Florida for the most part. Having for severe weather, is mostly not going to be difficult for the most part. And right now, when we get right into about evening, afternoon hours, this is where we're going to be seeing our main risk stuff. We're going to be having a line of storms moving through Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee by about evening time. And then as we roll on through midnight, those storms will weaken a bit, and they're still going to be in Georgia and eastern Alabama. Again, any of these cells could produce very isolated hail, damaging winds, but again, our main biggest threat is going to be the tornado threat with the 5% chance. So any of these isolated cells could have the potentiality and the possibility for tornado formation. And then as we kind of move into tomorrow, we can see that those storms do die out and a lot of them go over the Gulf. And as we move on the next day, pretty much everything is over for the most part for the southeast. Going over the Winter Storm Severity Index, issued by the Weather Prediction Center itself, which also shows the excessive rainfall outlooks. Now for today, for day 1, we could see that areas in the Midwest and Northern Plains, a lot of it is either in the minor to moderate zone. A few areas, especially near the Great Lakes, could see a major threat. Specifically areas in Minnesota and South Dakota, a bit of North Dakota, as well as Wisconsin, especially around Lake Superior, are going to be experiencing the big impacts from this winter storm that is moving through. We do have blizzard warnings in and around northeastern South Dakota, a bunch of winter storm warnings across Minnesota, and that will probably be there for at least another day or so. Too, we can see that it even gets worse, especially if you live right near Lake Superior, like Marquette or Duluth, Minnesota. In northern Wisconsin or the UP of Michigan are going to be the worst areas for this. And some of it could be as a result from lake effect snow, but most of it is going to be from winter storms. And mostly, again, it's just northern Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan. Minnesota will experience a little bit of it. And maybe even going down here, some minor areas into the lower portion of Michigan and near Chicago, Illinois, we could have some areas of minor, winter storm severity indexes. Day 3 gets interesting. So, across all of the Great Lakes, we have some areas between moderate to major. Now, I will say this. Our major areas are probably going to be the UP of Michigan, Western Michigan, areas between Cleveland and Buffalo, and as well as areas near Watertown, New York. And when it comes to lake effect snow, which is also going to be playing a big role in this, areas, especially between Cleveland and Buffalo, are going to get the worst of it. Areas outside Watertown, areas even outside Erie, Pennsylvania, also get the worst of it as well. Over here in Michigan, it's gonna be a winter storm threat. Over here in Northeast Ohio, Western New York, as well as Northwestern Pennsylvania, experience the worst of lake effect snow, and that's what we're gonna be seeing here. So this is why a lot of these areas are gonna be classified as moderate to major along here. So you can see on the HRRR model, over the next 2 days is a little bit of the forecast I'm going to be showing you. So right now, currently, we have snow over the Dakotas and as well as Minnesota. As you might be watching this video, this could be a little bit delayed. It shows over the Dakotas, but right as about now that I'm making this stuff is going to be over Minnesota as well as parts of Nebraska as well. As we do continue this, into the afternoon to evening, we can see that a lot of this is going to be a bit slow moving, but this winter storm is going to be right over Minnesota. And this is going to go into tomorrow, where heaviest snow, especially, is going to be in eastern Minnesota, the UP of Michigan, as well as northern Wisconsin. And this is where we could see the worst part of the snow, where potentially we could have some banding of lake effect snow. Mostly, this isn't going to be lake effect snow. This is just going to be winter storm snow. But areas favored along snowbelt locations in the UP of Michigan could see, stuff up to 2 feet of snow possible. And then as we kind of go on with our day, this thing will move up into Ontario, to Quebec, Canada, and we can start seeing that Lake Erie and Lake Ontario are now going to have their lake effect snow machines on. And then this is where we can see some areas between Cleveland and Buffalo having up to 1 foot possible, in areas outside of Watertown, New York, are, nearly a foot of snow as well as possible from this. Now, temperature outlook over the next 6 to 10 days. Majority of the northern and western United States are going to be below average, especially areas over here in the plains are going to be very below average, except for the southeast, where we are going to have quite the above average temperatures for at least the most part over the next, last week of November. And within the next 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, it's going to be very similar to what we're going to be seeing, in terms of above or below the normal average temperatures for at least the most part. Precipitation over the next 6 to 10 days. Majority of the country is going to be above average for precipitation, though along the west coast, in Northern California, Washington, and Oregon, we could be seeing below than average precipitation. Then within the next 8 to 14 days of precipitation, most of the country is going to be above average, with some areas going to be nearing, near normal average for the most part. Alright, and that's all the weather talk that I have for today. So if you guys like to see another hunt weather video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And always remember to share this with friends and families, as this could be important and will be impacting millions of people. So if you see people who you know that are going to be affected by this, make sure you share this video to other people. Anyways, if you think me using Pivotal Weather is better than using WeatherWise for Alex and stuff, make sure you guys share and comment down below for your opinions. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.